Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the first episode of season 6 of the 100. It's always really exciting for me when I start a new season, especially when it's like, because I do some shows that are anthology shows, starting a new season is exciting, but not as exciting as when I start a new show like the 100 or Supernatural or 911, where there's ongoing storylines. And particularly with this show, the last season ended pretty conclusively with a end point of that season and a start of this season and a whole new set of things that are going to happen. So, the end of last season, the very final kind of plot line, I guess the main thing was that McCreary sent the missiles to destroy the last remaining livable part of Earth. And so some of the people left on Earth got on the ship, went up to the spaceship thing and went into cryosleep to try and stay asleep for long enough for Earth to come back to life and for life to start coming back, and they can live there again. We found out once they got woken up, like 120 odd years, I think it was after that, that didn't happen. Monty and Harper froze everybody, but stayed to live a peaceful life together, whilst trying to wait for Earth to start becoming livable again. That never happened, and so they had to look for another plan. And their plan, so they hacked into some files and discovered that Elysium or Elysius 3 wasn't a mining mission. Basically, they went and searched for another planet and they found a new planet to live on. They found that planet and they set the ship on a course to that planet. Harper and Monty had a kid, but then they died of old age, and I think Harper died of an illness. But the kid survived. Clark and Bellamy woke up as we got to the new planet. So that's kind of where we left things. Clark, Bellamy, and the kid whose name I cannot remember, because we only met him very briefly, were all there looking at this new planet that they'd found. And obviously we had the rest of our characters, our main characters that were left alive anyway, in cryosleep still. And so we're on to season 6, which, like I say, I've heard bad things about season 6 and 7. I've heard they're the weakest of the 7, which to me kind of makes sense, because usually as shows get towards the end, they do start to dip off a bit. But not just that, but because season 1 to 5 kind of feels like a complete thing. Start of season 1, we sent everyone down to Earth to try and see if we could live there again, and all the Earth stuff started, and the commanders and the grounders and the mountain man and Ali and all that stuff. By the end of season 5, we can't live on Earth anymore. It's destroyed, because of the apocalypse in season 4, but also the thing at the end of season 5. So that feels like a complete thing. Now we're on to the next chapter, which I kind of guess is signified by the end of the episode where it said end book 1. It's like a move on to a new version of the show. And I think I saw something online where it said they kind of acted like a bit of a reboot. That term scares me, because when shows do reboots mid-show, they don't tend to do very well. But I'm going to go into an open mind. What do I think it's going to be about? I don't know, but I'm curious because... So I've seen the poster for season 6, and it's kind of giving me kind of Midsummer vibes. I didn't look too closely at what the middle bit was with the colours and whatnot, but something about it kind of gave me this weird Midsummer, everything's like idyllic, culty vibes. But I think part of that's also because when I downloaded season 6 to record and put it on my, editing software and whatnot, I've got all the episode titles in front of me, and the things like the Gospel of Josephine, and there was another one, Children of Gabriel. I don't know whether with the poster, I'm kind of getting religious-y, cult kind of vibes from the season. Other than that, I have no idea what to expect, other than it's a new planet. I don't know who's going to be down there. Elysius 3 is going to be down there, but possibly other people that have lived on that planet for years. Is there other life forms on that planet? Is the planet different to ours in any way? I guess we'll just have to find out. Let's jump into the episode to find out. This episode is actually called SANCTUM. Is that the name of the planet? Or is it just because it's kind of like a sanctity, a new place we can live and be safe that's not on this ship? It's a sanctum for us. I don't know. I am really curious to see not just why the season isn't seen as good as the first 5, but also where they're going to take it, and whether it's going to be good or whether I'm going to hate it. It'd be kind of interesting to me if they had got to the end of the season and was like, I didn't like that, because there's not many shows that I watch where I don't love it so far on my channel. Season 5, I could see wasn't for me wasn't as good as the first 4, but I still really enjoyed it. So enough waffling, let's jump into the episode, let's jump into Sanctum. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know down below in the comments what you thought of the episode, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already. But also, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, as well as a few ahead of YouTube, there's a Patreon link in the description box. It really would help you out. Okay guys, new season of the 100, let's go, season 6, episode 1, Sanctum. I hope this is good, guys. I really hope I enjoy this. Oh, hey, opening titles. I love the new opening titles every season. This is the planet, I'm guessing. Some structure. That's the thing from the poster, I think. Oh, this is so curious though, because there's always like clues and things going on. But I just don't know what any of this means. Is there 2 suns? Interesting.
Is it beautiful? It is in my dreams. I hope it'll be better.
This is exciting.
I hope your lives there will be as happy as
Hey, they're all
mine.
awake now.
Be the good guys. May we meet again. May we meet again.
Oh,
No, this is a lot to process.
it is, but
Take an hour.
we've got Bellamy, we've got Shaw, we've got Murphy.
We need to game this out.
Hotties of the season.
We survived. Monty made sure of it.
He's attractive as well, but I don't know his
Now we
name.
get our humanity back. Some of us never lost it.
What's interesting as well, that like with the Monty's thing, it's like we want to do better now, be better people, but
They left us.
They chose
to live.
to be happy.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but
she's just grieving.
spending a lifetime alone with someone you love sounds pretty damn good to me.
Alright, back off, you've known each other 5 minutes, calm down.
Did you know Becca did the coding for the Allegis missions when she was only 18?
I met her once on the bridge of the ship the day we launched.
What was she like?
She was like you.
What does that mean?
You're just trying to get me to have sex with you again.
I mean, you don't need to ask. Stop it, Scott.
Mom, you've got to eat. It could be a while before we find a food source.
What I need is a source for propofol or pentobarbital.
Well, first,
Yeah, I'm
culture
still struggling
LPU.
from the drug addiction.
My dad wanted me to give this to you.
The stuff Bellamy used on
Oh wow,
TV.
so he's even thinking about that stuff as well.
First generation induces coma. He was hoping you could use it to save Kane.
Oh.
Thank you.
Here's what we know. Allegis 3 was a colonizer.
What's this guy's name?
According to the
I don't remember it.
The mothership went to 5 planets that met the necessary conditions for life, dropping mission teams on each one. Monty picked planet Alpha for us because it's the closest and probably
Okay.
the most like Earth.
Probably. We have to assume they couldn't know for sure until they got here.
Bottom line is, we won't know if it's survivable until we get down there.
Sounds familiar.
What about radio signals? Anything from the ground that says the mission team survived?
No radio signals.
Like
So they are
also,
basically recreating
there is an
season 1
ultra-high
again.
frequency ping on radar in
Interesting.
Kane, but
Rescue beacon.
How long ago did Allegis 3 get here?
hard to tell since they never radioed back, but best estimate 200 years, give or take.
A hill.
On the wait for a rescue.
They could still be down there though.
trust Monty.
Kids and whatnot.
That's not all. Jordan, you're staying too.
Me? Why?
Jordan.
But your parents asked us to keep you safe.
That's the one.
We have no idea what's waiting for us down there, which is why we should take our best fighters.
My sister is the last person I trust not to shoot first. She stays on ice with everyone else until we know.
Especially at the
what we're
moment, she's
And
still.
it's too late by then.
doing. Fine. I'll wake up military.
She's a great fighter though.
Good.
You keep each other
Hey.
safe.
Always.
I want more of Miller being lovely with his boyfriend Jackson and just being smoochy. And if these two want to kiss as well, I'm okay with that.
Not really.
If it does, I'll take care of Maddie.
Oh. So I wonder how long like Maddie and Octavian that are going to be in cryosleep.
Go save Kane.
Anyone else that I can think of that we know? Say Kane. Dioza? Curious
Okay, I
about
want
this
to change our
planet.
orbit. Find us a spot with less interference. Can you make that happen?
Yes, ma'am. I'm on it.
Wait.
What's this?
What is that?
That's what I said.
Looks like an aurora. Cool.
I want to know what that is. That is awesome. This is what I wanted though, from like a new planet in a new system, solar system and all that. I want different biological, physical, you know, nature things. And
Boys and girls,
I mean, it looks cool.
meet Planet Alpha.
Planet Alpha.
Please be real.
It's very pretty. So definitely got two suns.
Breathable air. Check.
Radiation level's good too. Allegius 3 didn't need to send Nightbloods after all.
How about that beacon shot?
8 clicks due east. I think it's on high ground, but there's a water source about halfway.
I can hear animals. What kind of animals are we gonna have on this planet?
Anyone got anything better than we're back, bitches?
Monty would know what to say.
I really like this. Like, I know it's not gonna be as nice as it looks. There's gonna be some sort of threat.
He already said it. Do better there.
How many Sky Crew left? How much do we need?
Wake them all. Everyone but Octavia. Pint each.
Copy that.
Jesus.
I'll start with Raven.
That's a lot for
No.
like one
I'll
person,
handle
but
Raven.
the hell is that? Is that just a planet that's very close?
Alpha's not a planet.
It's not?
It's a moon.
Oh!
Mom and Dad
Put me on the moon.
loved this.
Oh.
I miss them too. Any word from the ground?
You mind if we don't talk?
I sense tension.
Raven, I'm sorry. What I did to you with the collar is unforgivable.
Then why bother apologizing?
Because I'm clean now.
For how long?
Oh.
I bet you're already thinking about your next dose.
You're always going to be like that as an addict, though.
Missing the way it makes you feel.
Raven, I'm not your mother.
You're right. You're not. My mother may have been a drunk who sold herself for booze. She never hurt me. She never
God.
used me. She sure as hell never tortured me.
Who's waking up? Is this Octavia?
Happy Resurrection Day. What's wrong?
Yeah, so we've got a few things to fill you in on.
Now that's a view.
Whoa. That's cool. I'm not even a big sci-fi person, but I think because I love the characters so much, I'm into this.
Camp here.
I'm just waiting for the pin to drop. Something to go wrong.
Murphy, wait. We have
Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Oh, I like it here with the colours as well. Like, there's a weird colour scheme. Things are just slightly off. Like the water's kind of too blue, but the sky's too pinky.
Oh my god. We're aliens. We both did things in the bunker.
No, I did things. You didn't stop things. There's
It's
a difference.
just as bad though at times.
We needed to survive. And that's why you did the things that you did. Period.
I wish they were good enough.
I like this though. This is what I wanted last season, is them to feel some bad for what they did. And
If I could, I'd go back and do things differently. But I can't. None of us can.
true.
For some reason, Monty thought we deserved a second chance.
Not for nothing, but this is like your 5th chance.
Yours too, Murphy.
I mean, Murphy more than anybody, let's be honest.
Very good.
You hear that?
What happened to all the bugs?
You guys gotta see this.
That's freaky.
5 minutes ago, this thing ate a leaf out of my hand. Now it wants to eat me. Not only that, its entire physiology has changed from...
Do they all like
Oh, look at that. Your pet's pissed I killed his brother.
go crazy by night?
Swarm. It's
coming from the direction the ship will never make it back.
Everyone, cover up.
Yeah.
To the beacon now.
God. Oh God, I don't like that image. Hey.
They hate the fire.
This is pretty cool though. This is kind of like exactly what I wanted from a new planet. What are those things?
Here.
Who was that? Who's... I wouldn't touch him. I mean, that was a big assumption to make, Clark, but okay. Oh God. Hey.
Tell Raven she deserves happiness. She doesn't think she does, but she does.
Doesn't help that every time she sees has some sort of happiness, it gets taken away from her. Like this. God. I did not expect Shaw to die that quickly anyway. She definitely just never catch a break. Ever.
Are you serious?
Bellamy told me to take care of this ship. That's what I'm doing.
By keeping essential medicine for Marcus.
So Kane's awake? That's why you're here, right? Maybe you're just checking your stash. Making sure it's still there.
Raven, I apologize to you. I told you that I was clean. Now give me the damn pills!
Let's just get this over with. The faster you fall off the wagon and kill yourself, the sooner we can move on.
That's not helpful. Not helpful.
Your Red Queen's still up there too, Miller.
Who are you gonna follow now?
Hey.
Murphy's dumping. What are they looking at? Show me. Right, so that was the building from the opening titles. Okay. Oh, this is from the poster. It kind of looks like a stained glass window. They're like some sort of community that lives in the middle of this. Or used to live. What was going on around here? Not again. Not again.
Becca did the tech for Allegiance.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Destroy the world. 200 years later, they put you on a flag.
I'm still going with what I said, like at the start of the episode. I'm getting very like Midsummer vibe from this, like cult. If you've not watched it, cults and we live in a field, everything's happy dappy, but we also kill people.
I thought I lost you.
Oh.
Everything that happened so we could get here.
Everything's too happy.
I believe that too.
If this was the finale, I would be like,
Then you're a bigger fool than him.
oh. Hi, Octavia.
Where's Nyla? You think you're better than me, Kane?
Yeah.
We lost 417 people in that gorge. Ethan was the first to die. They put a bullet in his head. I wonder how your friend Jaha would feel about that.
Marcus, we really need to get you to the stretcher.
Everything I did in that bunker, I did for my people. Am I a monster? Yes, I am. Just like both of you. The cannibal doctor and the man she loves even after he floated her husband. If it was up to you, one crew would have died of starvation in that bunker. You were too weak to do what had to be done. And then you ran.
You didn't have to burn down the farm. You did that for power.
Well, that accent just went very strange then.
You're the lost.
Marcus!
Oh, damn.
Marcus! Help me get him to the bed. Now!
What can I do?
She's come out with her
The sutures didn't hold.
fists up.
He's bleeding out. High pressure.
Jesus.
Prep the OR. We're going back in.
Happy. There's no more algae. He won't survive another century. Like Calidus.
Okay. So she's not giving up on him. What was that?
You okay?
What was that?
What?
On your soulless days.
But all I hear when I hear music in these shows is copyright, copyright, copyright. Where is everybody? There's got to be people here somewhere, surely. Oh, Grace of the Primes. There's a lot of these things. Neck braces. Well, they look like neck ones. Which obviously implies that this isn't all happy. Red Sun Rising. Josephine. Saw that name in the episode titles.
I'm sorry I couldn't respond all those years.
I know it sounds crazy. Maddie certainly thought it was.
No, not at all. You were by yourself.
Talking to you every day.
Oh, then you had
Even though
Maddie,
you didn't
but...
answer, it kept me sane.
Yeah. That totally makes sense.
Trees and plants give us shade, we eat them every day. When the stars align and the forest wakes, it's time to run away.
The wasps, the insects.
It's not a nursery rhyme. It's a warning.
They're stealing our ship!
Oh god. Well, this is like friends or foes. Does that mean like something happens and they all turn against each other? I said something happened to her.
Let me go! Corey, calm down. He'll do it to you too. He'll do it to you too! Ah! No!
What happened to her? So if you're safe once they're exposed, is it to the sun? Or the eclipse?
It's in the air.
The hell's going on around here? Okay guys, that was my reaction to Season 6, Episode 1 of the 100, Sanctum. That was a lot of new information, but that was kind of everything I wanted from this episode. Not that it was the best episode of the show ever, it wasn't, and I have a lot of questions for this new world and this new place that they're in, but it's kind of every single thing that I was hoping for was here. So we had a new planet with new life forms, I said like new animals or insects or like life, and obviously we had the insects creatures, and we'll talk about that more in a bit. The two suns, we've got the new buildings, the questions, the mysteries. We're not sure what's going on yet. It's not exactly like Season 1, but enough like Season 1 that I'm at this moment invested. So like it's kind of very similar in parallel to Season 1 in that we have the space station, the Elysius ship. I kept calling it Elysius at the start. I apologise. And we send people down to Earth to see if it's livable. Like last time they sent 100 people down. This time we sent a handful of people down. But then we go down to see if it's livable. Then we experience a bit of the life, and we look all happy and everything until we realise something is flopping around. What's this? And then we realise that things aren't all they're cracked up to be. And I kind of love the parallels, but there was enough differences to make it still very interesting. But on top of that, we also had what I said at the beginning, which was because they've been asleep for all these years, to them it's been like no time at all, so they're still going to have those feelings towards each other when they wake up, which we saw again with like Octavia and Raven, that their anger and their frustration towards other people. Yes, towards it's a new season. To the guys that watched it live on TV, it's been months. To those guys, it's 100 odd years, but to them, in how time feels, it's been minutes, seconds, whatever. So they're still going to feel that pain and anger and whatever, whilst also dealing with this new information that they've got. So I loved it for that. I thought that was a really smart way to reboot the show almost, whilst also keeping it carried on from the past. Where should we start? Let's start like the Raven and the Abby stuff, because I kind of want to talk about the planet stuff last, I think. I feel conflicted about it because, yes, I know Abby's basically no one's favourite character, right? And she's the drug storyline I didn't really enjoy particularly. But I'm kind of conflicted because whilst I'm not like rooting for Abby, I'm not like in love with the character or anything, I also don't like when someone goes to an addict and just says, well, we're just waiting for you to go off the wagon, like just kill yourself and get it over with. I don't think that's helpful. For someone who has done a lot of good, regardless of what you think of Abby, she's done a lot of good as a doctor with the characters in the show, and she saved a lot of lives, and she did help with that awful plan in the bunker, rightly or wrongly, it did help save lives and other things. But I just think, just putting my opinion of her to one side, just having an addict and someone going, here's the pills, just do it, just kill yourself, get it over with, I don't like that because it's addiction's such a horrible problem that I've never had to face. But, you know, I've met a lot of people and I work with people and whatnot that are not addict or they like have been sober for so many years because they used to drink all the time and things like that. And I know that it is a struggle. It's a daily struggle. And you need people around you that support you. Now, I get that Raven is angry with her because she tortured her and or helped torture her and all this stuff, right? I understand that. I understand why she's pissed off and she has every right to be. She also should try and think that normal Abby would never have done that. Abby, as an addict, you have to try and... It's weird because I feel like I'm making excuses for her and I don't mean to because I know at the end of the day you choose to make your decisions and that is you. But I also know that when you're under the influence of drugs and whatnot, you're not thinking like you normally would. And I would hope that Raven would eventually help her come out of that and come to the other side of it. And I'm hoping that does come eventually anyway. That Raven will support her and help her with the addiction. They become like friends again because I liked them when they were friends. Kane was an interesting one because obviously he's still dealing with the attack at the end of last season. He seems to be getting a bit better, but then Octavia got woken up by Nyla. Octavia just fucking went for him, not physically but verbally, about how he's a traitor and all this. And I said something wrong at the time. She said, "Do you think you're better than me?" And I went, "Yeah." I actually don't know if I feel like that now because she raised a lot of things that I kind of, you do forget about, that he did all this death and he made this choice and he made this choice and he made this choice. But Octavia made all these choices as well, and I don't think any of them are really good people right now. They made a lot of bad decisions. But it was weird that, like I said in the episode, Octavia right at the end of the season with the events of the 2-part finale seemed to be making a bit of a turn towards the older Octavia, kind of realising she'd fucked up, realising she made mistakes, and trying to sort things out. Say like with Bellamy when she went to sleep, she said, "I love you," and he didn't say it back, and they're making steps towards, you know, being closer again, I guess. But then she woke up ready to fight that day, and she went for Kane, and obviously he then coughed up blood, collapsed, and she just walked off. But then he looked dead. I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me what I missed and what I'm talking about that's wrong. But he looked dead to me, and they're like, "Oh no, he's still alive, it's okay." But like, I just don't know how he's still alive, because he looked very dead. But whatever, that's fine. He's frozen now. Maybe he's going to be frozen for like quite a long time, and then they bring him back at some point later in the season. But I thought that about Octavia last season when she was in the coma. I thought they're going to take her out for a couple of episodes, bring her back for the finale for a fight. And they brought her back the next episode. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not vastly invested in Abby or Kane right now, so I'm not really too fussed what happens with them. But we'll see. Shaw dying, I'm only going to talk about this briefly because I'll talk about the planet in a bit, but I want to talk about the Raven stuff. It's a shame for Raven because she doesn't ever catch a break. She had the leg thing and the alley thing, and there was another guy she was dating that disappeared, and she was dating... Who was she dating? Finn? Was his name Finn? And he was obviously then having a thing with Clark, and she just doesn't catch a break when it comes to love or luck. And so with Shaw now dead, obviously dying, but he's actually dead, that is now when she finds out she's going to be even more pissed off than sure he is about everything. So that's sad. Meh. But in terms of the ship stuff, it's cool. I like Jordan. He seems like a nice guy. Like he's Monty's and Hopper's son. I like him so far. And I'm just intrigued to see where all the pieces fall with the ship. When they're going to wake Maddie up, when's Dio's going to be woken up. The rest of the people, I just don't really know where it's going. I presume at some point they're all going to try and come down to Earth because they can't communicate with Clark and that. So maybe they're going to come down, kind of similar to past events we've seen. But obviously we know that that's going to be a bad thing because there's stuff going on down on the planet, which I'll talk about now. So, the planet. I loved it. I really liked it. Like, I'm not the biggest space, Star Wars, Star Trek person. I'm not into all that stuff. Like, it's just not my kind of thing. But I liked it because of the characters, and we've been on Earth for years, and now we're going somewhere new. And I just wanted to see the differences and how life on this planet Alpha is. And it kind of was what I wanted, like beautiful colours, but kind of off colours, like things just didn't look right, but they weren't, the grass wasn't like purple and the sky wasn't orange, like it wasn't completely different, it was close enough, but just off, kind of like an Uncanny Valley thing when you see someone that's kind of looking human, but it's not, and it's like it's too human looking, it kind of makes you a bit uneasy. It was kind of that for me, we had two planets in the sky, we had suns, like more than one sun, and the colours were slightly off, but it looked enough like Earth that it was similar, that I liked it and just felt a little bit uneasy about what was going on. The water was fine. Everything looked fine. They could breathe easily. But then the insects appeared in a swarm. Well, we had an insect that was fine and nice and friendly. But this is where I'm confused, because it was fine, but then night fell. And it was during the night that the insects swarmed and attacked them. And then they ran, and then they got through those kind of like pylon things that electrocuted and killed Shaw. But it was fine for Clark because of the radiation, because she's a Nightblood. She turned it off, they got through, the insects all died. I have questions about the insects, but this relates to what happened a little bit later on, so I'll kind of park that. So they found this new place, with a church and this huge coloured thing around it, which kind of looked like a stained glass window. And that really re-emphasises what I said at the beginning of the episode, where just looking at the episode title and the poster, something about it all is giving me cult vibes. Kind of, we see these cults that live in the middle of nowhere, and they're like hippies, and they all like, it's all carefree and everyone's lovely, and we live in the land and everything's great, and they wear a lot of white and they dance around like Midsummer. If you watch Midsummer, you know what I mean. If you've not, it's like they go to this place in, was it Holland or Sweden, somewhere like that, in the middle of countryside, and they go to this like commune where there's like, they all dress white and they have like flower crowns and they dance around, and it's all idyllic, but it's not. There's a lot of nasty shit that goes on. I'm getting that, very much that, which I like. I'm intrigued by it. It's so different to what we've seen before that I'm really kind of, whilst I'm going to miss all the old stuff because it was all like one big compact story, right? Even though every season was different, but you know what I mean. I'm invested and I'm intrigued to see what this means. We had this children's book called Red Sun Rising, which I think is like the title for episode 2, by Josephine. I saw that name in the episode titles, and that said about how that we eat the plants and the trees, that's where we live, but when the sun's like stars align, basically things go to shit, and it looks like friends become foes. And then we saw that with Amori. She looked into that thing, and it felt like something happened to her. It kind of gave me vibes of, again, I'm sorry to keep going on to other shows, but if you watch Angel, if you know the episode The Hole in the World, when let's say there's a coffin that opens up and a little thing comes out, and when someone looks into it, that kind of gave me that kind of vibe, where she looked into the thing, it seemed like something happened, she kind of like jolted back and blinked a few times, but then I kind of forgot about it till right at the end, so it looked like they're reading the children's book, and then Amori turned against them, so we said friends become foes. Amori tried to kill Murphy with a knife. Luckily, it looks like they got to her in time to stop her, but he was injured. So that's what I'm confused by, what I need to know more about the world, right? So I think Clark actually answered my question. So I thought, okay, when the sun goes down, things turn evil. Like the insects were fine, the sun went down, they turned evil. Or they turned against, their friends, so to speak. So I was thinking, okay, so when it's nightfall, things go to shit. That's cool, kind of horror, creepy. We'll have things are great in the day, but at night, but then we also have Amori went bad during the day. So Cartland said it's in the air. So something that they're exposed to, like I said in the book, is now turning them against each other. But it seems like, I think in the book it said it happens for 2 days. So I think nobody's around because they're all in hiding. Because whatever's in the air, when the things align or whatever, turns them all against each other and makes them try and kill each other. So maybe during that time they bunker down somewhere, another like bunker situation potentially, or they're all locked up in the castle, that's why they can't get in. So they're not exposed to what's outside. That makes them kill each other, which is curious, interesting. I am invested. I'm really enjoying it. And I kind of went into this dubious that I was going to enjoy it because people have said that the last few seasons aren't as good, and maybe they're not as a whole. But just this first episode, I am actually quite curious by, and I want to know more. I want to see more. I want to see more of the characters. Obviously, we had Clark and Jasper sharing a bit of a moment when he said, like, I wish I could, like, I know you were called every day for 6 years, and had a bit of a smile and a nice moment. There was that. Obviously, Shaw's dead. Murphy's still pain in the arse. Although I did like the moment when he was singing and dancing around, because Murphy's gives people shit and riles people up, but also is quite fun of a character. He's so good. There's something about him that's so sexy. I don't know what it is, but yeah, there is. There's obviously tension between Clark and Shaw, but then he died. And I'm enjoying it so far. I felt like I might have missed quite a lot to talk about, but that's the main things I think I wanted to talk about in this episode. The new planet, all the new stuff there with that I think is more culty, but it could be wrong. It could just be that's how they live, but then they've realised about what happens in the world. That's why they taught the kids out of the children's book, so that they know when the things align, we go down or we hide away to not let that happen. But it's just that weird, like I said with the Midsummer stuff, that weird thing about the school and the colours and the brightness and the drawings, everything's great, kind of juxtaposed with the darkness of this children's book's warning you that we're all going to kill each other. So I like that. It kind of gives me kind of spooky horror vibes. And I like it. So far, I'm enjoying the season. Season 6, episode 1, I'm a fan. Do I think it's going to be as strong throughout? I don't know. When we meet these new characters that I think are going to be locked away in the castle, they could add more to the show. They could take it away. But I hope there's like another hottie or two in there to replace Shaw, who died, which was sad. So yeah, so far, so good. As always, my name is Scott. I hope you guys are well, taking care of yourselves and staying safe. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know down below your thought of the reaction, but also, what was your thoughts of Sanctum? Did you enjoy the episode? Did you not? Let me know. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Please take a look at the Patreon link for the full reaction down below. Yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all very soon for episode 2 of season 6 of the 100. I am curious to see what happens. So far, so good. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe.